For 16 years, we've been building a site that's been called innovative, insightful, and informative. Now there's a new name for it. We're now NBCNews.com.
I did not set out to hurt him.
A woman named Sheila Davalloo stabs her husband during a weird guessing game. And then, of all people, she calls Nelson Sessler, the boyfriend of a woman who had been stabbed to death just a few months before. Co-worker and friend Christine Dinerstein got the news right away.
I get to work and I go sit down at my desk and someone comes up to me and tells me, "Did you hear what Sheila Davalloo did?"
As it turns out, Sheila Davalloo also worked at Purdue Pharma, where Christine, Nelson Sessler, and Annalisa worked. Sheila was known as a competent biochemist and a researcher, friendly, social, really smart.
She was very successful, had a lot of promotions in the company.
The story about Sheila and that knife swept through the office.
I've never heard of anyone getting stabbed in my life, and here it is. 2 stabbings in a short period of time, and they're both connected to Nelson. Something does not make sense.
That's pretty much what Detective Carpentier was thinking. She alerted the Stamford PD, and they asked Nelson Sessler to come back for another interview. Stamford investigator Tom McGinty was there as well, as Sessler admitted that he and Sheila Davalloo were friendly.
He was talking about his relationship with Sheila, how they were such good friends and they used to go skiing, and that she had purchased 2 dogs. He would go over our house and, walk them for her. And then finally I just had said to him that, "Nelson, nobody's driving from Connecticut to Westchester and not getting laid." And, finally he admits that he was having a sexual relationship with Sheila.
This was a bombshell. Nelson was now admitting there had been another woman in his life. He had dated Sheila and Annalisa at the same time, but said he broke up with Sheila as things got serious with Annalisa. That was a few months before the murder. And after the murder, he and Sheila hooked up again.
How did you react when Sessler finally came clean to you and said, "Yes, I was having a sexual relationship with Sheila Davalloo"?
I was very upset.
I mean, he's been working this case, Annalisa's homicide, day and night. So the fact that Nelson was keeping information from him was definitely upsetting to Investigator McGinty.
And there were more surprises. Nelson Sessler said he had no idea Sheila had a husband, and the husband didn't know anything about Nelson until Detective Carpentier told him. She also told Paul about Annalisa, and that's when it clicked. That name, Annalisa.
Sheila was always telling me a story at work about 3 people, Melissa, Jack, and Annalisa.
It was an office love triangle. Sheila said it involved her very, very good friend Melissa, who was hooked on a guy who had a girlfriend named Annalisa, and Sheila talked about it a lot.
She seemed to want to tell everybody about it. She told me, she told some friends of ours.
Sheila's friend Tammy May heard about the office love triangle, and she heard about it all the time.
Sheila would talk about her friend almost more than she talked about herself, almost to the point where she was obsessed with it. She would even talk about their sex life quite a bit.
When Sheila's affair with Nelson Sessler was uncovered, the fiction dissolved.
Jack turned out to be, in reality, Nelson Sessler. Annalisa turned out to be Annalisa Raimundo.
And Melissa
Melissa was Sheila.
So all of Sheila's stories were really about herself and her own apparent obsession with Nelson Sessler. Maybe Nelson thought it was a casual fling, but Sheila sure didn't. And it was only days after Annalisa's murder that Sheila moved in on Nelson again.
According to Nelson Sessler, Sheila began to bring him care packages a couple of weeks after Annalisa had died.
It became very obsessive, and when I think Nelson learned the extent of the obsession, it became alarming.
How would you best describe Sheila Davalloo?
Manipulative,
Highly intelligent.
and very good liar.
So suddenly, and for the first time, police investigating the murder of Annalisa Raimundo had a suspect with a motive. And they wondered if Nelson Sessler broke up with Sheila to be with Annalisa, how far would Sheila go to get him back?
Coming up, she was clearly an obsessed woman, but is anybody
this cold-hearted?
She had her nails done that morning. She spoke to her friends that morning.
Like she had a list. Get
She had a
nails
list, get rid of
done,
my
talk to
husband.
friends, kill
Yeah.
my husband.
And make sure Nelson gets here by 8:30 so we can have dinner.
When Dateline continues.